On this awesome episode of Enclosure Talk, we're taking a look at the Expanse model. The Expanse is our top-of-the-line arboreal snake setup, so this one's a 30 by 24 by 18. And see, it's decked out with all kinds of goodies. So I'll just start with the basics. It's a black build with black hardware. You've got the satin black Focus Cubed logo there. It's also optioned with a lock on the dual plane CNC contoured polycarbonate door there. Black knob. Jumping inside, we've got the triple perch mounts, centrally mounted heat panel with the probe cover there. So it's in a standardized spot. You've got your option with the 22-inch dimmable LED straight out the back. And the coolest part of the Expanse model, Steven's gonna jump in here.
Yeah, the Expanse model was a model that we released a few months ago, and I've been kind of tweaking on it, and I found some cool new ways of doing things. But just if you've not seen the Expanse before, like some of the standard features, it's going to come with that probe holder back there. So whenever you get this thing, you unwrap it and you go to put it together, you're just going to unbolt that little probe holder back there. You're going to drop your probe cord down behind it, and you're just going to tighten those bolts back down. So that holds the probe right in the back, and it's at the same height as that highest rear perch mount. So always whenever you set that up, just set your temp on your thermostat and just double check your perch temp there, and you're good to go. Yeah, so the heat panel on these is going to be the 40 watt, and it's going to be centrally mounted. So that's kind of a cool feature of these things. We put the panel in the center on those. And a big update, like the original one, it had adjustable venting, which it was kind of a pain because you had to essentially unbolt the plate with like a little 2mm Allen, so you needed a tool to take it off. Same thing with the one in the back. But these models do have adjustable venting. It goes from the front and it goes out the upper rear. And now this is a toolless design, so you've got basically a little knob. You can tighten it down and secure it. This is in the open position, so it's got a set of 1/4-inch vents in the front. I originally had this design too with 2 knobs, but I've kind of made it a little bit simpler there. So you have a plate that holds this plate in the slot, and essentially you just kind of loosen that knob there, and you can go from essentially a 1/4-inch to nothing. So you can just slowly dial it forward or back. Now this is one of those things you're probably not going to be constantly adjusting. It's going to be, you set it up once essentially to, in your particular area, so it depends on your ambient humidity and how much you're misting, and yada yada yada. So you'll get kind of a good baseline for it. But if for some reason, if you ever had a spill in here, you've got way too much humidity, you can crack this thing open. It will dry it out there super fast, and then you can just dial it right back to wherever you had it. So easy. So there's a few different ways obviously you can run it. So you can run it with the front open or closed in any manner that you like. And then you come to the back, and there's another one back here. This one's not quite as sophisticated, so it's just a plate that covers this rear half of vents back here. So if you want to run it kind of old school, where you just have rear venting, you can close that front one. You can just leave, these vents are always open, so you can run it in just that position where these are always open, or you can pop this thing up, and this plate comes back and it reveals another set of 1/8-inch vents. So this is kind of like the standard setup. So you got ventilation in the upper rear, but if you want to cover it and you just want to limit it to just having a cross flow, all you do is put this thing back in there and you just slide that back down. So this is pretty simple. You don't have to have a bunch of sophisticated stuff. Once again, it's completely toolless. You just lift it up, pull the plate out, so you can reach around from the side. I've got that little finger notch in there, so it's easy to get in and get out.
Snazzy.
But yeah, so it's all tools now. You don't have to keep a little 2mm Allen on you all the time. You just slide it over, back, forth, take the back off, whatever. Super simple. It works awesome. We tested a bunch at home, and I measured everything essentially by weight. I didn't measure it by volume. I just did it by weight, and I would just periodically add water in there, and I would just see how much I could evacuate. And I think I put like 75 grams worth of water. I just dumped it down the center of it, and I managed to dry this thing out in like a couple hours. So and you can completely close it, and it'll hold 70% humidity for forever. So they work super good.
All right, so once again, this is the Expanse model, 30 by 24 by 18.